I did cry the night that Trump won in 2016 because I was talking to my brother late at night, and everyone was coming back from a devastating election party where people were like kind of just like crying or bawling. I resisted, but then I come home, I talk to my brother, and I was like, I'm not afraid for what happens to me and you, Sharif. Sharif is my brother. I'm worried about mom and dad. My mom wears the headscarf. And Trump really had emphasized anti-Muslim rhetoric as part of his calling card. I mean, people forget it now because Trump doesn't seem to care about us Muslims anymore. There was a time he was obsessed,
If there's
right?
one thing, if there's one good thing about Donald Trump, it's his short attention span.
Exactly. But also, I mean, part of it is that the wokes sort of took the place of the Muslims as public enemy. So we can thank the wokes for that. Um, so, that was really frightening for me. But I do feel a sense of relief that those 4 years were not as bad as my worst fears. I mean, let's not forget that Donald Trump was someone who he entertained in the kind of casual way that he does, putting American Muslims on a registry. That is crazy. Or refusing to condemn the internment of Japanese Americans. That's like at a different level. But when we actually look at what he did, I was able, I think, to feel some degree of, okay, democracy is working. Different parts of the country are pushing back. The Democratic Party is pushing back. They are defending Muslims. It was a beautiful sight when the Democratic Party finally got over its discomfort with associating with Muslims, in part because under Obama was sort of Muslim, according to some people, so he didn't want to present himself in that way. But post 2016, the Democratic Party pushes back hard, and that was great. But and our democracy survived. People criticize me for not anticipating the insurrection on January 6th. I'm okay with saying that I did not predict that, because I don't think really anyone predicted something quite like that. And if you did, I imagine it was probably a fluke. So no, I did not think that was going to happen, and that was frightening to me. And it showed that the Republican Party was worse than I expected on when it came to commitment to democracy. But I don't think it is appropriate to demonize Republicans writ large. We have a two-party system. So if one party doesn't do well or is messing things up and people want to choose the other option, that's their right, without saying that anyone who votes for the GOP in 2022 is a fascist or is helping democracy die. And I'm not being hyperbolic here. This has been the argument from a growing number of Democrats and liberals in the American context, that if you vote for the other party, you are playing a direct role in bringing democracy to an end. This is why this sort of apocalyptic rhetoric that I think has become the norm is dangerous, because it delegitimizes normal democratic contestation. And, the Democratic Party is basically saying to people, even if you don't like our policies on inflation, on public education, on wokeness, on gender identity, which is obviously, a thing that's, bothering a lot of people of color, especially Arabs, Muslims, Hispanics, and so forth. If you don't like all of our policies, you still have to vote for us because democracy is on the ballot and there is only one choice, us. To me, that is contrary to the democratic spirit. That's part of the argument that I've been making. Some people seem to hate this argument.